No,
Let me
not
start.
on the couch. You have to get a chair and
I'm not
sit
gonna say
down.
anything.
No,
Yes,
come
you will.
on,
You'll say
God,
you'll have
you
one
fucking
funny
love
thing,
this.
and then then I'll whisper it, and then I'll have to put it on a different audio track, and I'll have to mute all of
Liam,
that.
just get up. You're really good because you have to lie down right now.
I'm tired.
Alright. Welcome to the most funniest podcast, the most amount of fun podcast.
Brown
Welcome
bricks.
to the most amount of fun podcast.
brown-
The brownest bricks you can have while
Yeah.
listening to a podcast.
Yeah.
Email us at brownbrickspodcast@gmail.com. We're not riffing on that one. It needs
No,
to
I
be
wasn't.
said.
I'm
know.
glad you did.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That one needs to be said loud and clear.
What should they email us, Jack?
Anything? Maybe like gore.
Maybe their credit card number with the funny three-letter number.
Yeah, and the expiration date too.
Guys, peel back
Security
your
code.
fingernails and send us a picture of that at brownbrickspodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
That's brownbrickspodcast@gmail.com.
Send us a funny video of somebody putting salt on snails.
Snails?
Ooh.
Is that like?
Oh,
is
yeah.
that horrifying? I assume it is. I assume they like
Just,
boil,
like,
don't
I
they?
think they melt.
Shrivel up
Yeah.
and
They
all
just dry
the
out.
water gets sucked out of them. I don't think snails feel emotion, so I don't care.
Yeah, I mean they probably feel like pain in a sense of like reactionary. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to be here right now. The place where I'm getting salt poured on me.
Where I'm getting
Not where I want to
melted.
be.
I only have sympathy for pain when it relates to despair. So snails feel no
You don't
such
think
thing.
snails can despair?
No. I
What
wish.
about zoo animals?
wish.
Do you like to go into the zoo just to see the despair?
Oh, I
Yeah.
hate that so much. So many people are like so into going to zoos too, because they'll be
they
like
seeing the caged animals.
yeah, well, because they like seeing the animals. They're like, oh, I love seeing this polar bear, and then you go in and you're like, oh no, oh no.
He's so sad.
And I go and I'm like, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
they gotta keep out of the penguin exhibit.
From
All
fucking the
way in
penguins.
Why aren't the bears doing anything, Mommy? Because they've lost hope.
Yeah, the real reason why there's a
I
bunch of
wasn't gonna
nets
say anything.
at the zoo is just from committing to stop them from committing suicide. That's why they have the suicide nets there.
Bear
Oh,
nets.
for the bears. They're trying to jump
Suicide
off.
bear nets.
All the suicide nets in China, they studied American zoos.
Yeah. They're like, how did they stop all these bears from killing themselves? Oh, wait. And then they bounce back, and then they have to start making and packaging Pokemon cards once they get back in. The bears with their shitty little claws. They're like, sorry, we're going to put you to work.
Factor.
Well, that's the entropy heat death of that bit.
That
got
was
a little convoluted.
I think they got comprehensive zoos in China, or is it just like
comprehensive.
little buildings you go
Or is
to
it
that
just
have
all
like a couple
panda
animals?
bears?
Probably all
Yeah,
pants.
they still have human
Yeah.
zoos over there, dude. They still
Humans?
Yeah, they still bring in.
No,
Like,
Is a circus a
African-
human zoo? Are the ones where it's like the bearded lady? Is that
The
like a
freak
human
show?
zoo?
Yeah.
Yeah. If they're in a cage,
Kinda.
I'd say yeah.
Yeah.
If they're in a cage and they were at the point in time where it's like that person has no rights because we said so.
I think
like,
Cage is thinking of their labor camps.
Mm.
He's calling those zoos.
No, didn't you guys learn
Nah,
about human
man.
zoos like
I was
in,
kidding.
in like history when we used to bring Africans over and just
Oh,
look
yeah,
at them?
yeah.
Like other
what
like,
a boring
indigenous-
day.
How-
It's like you want to go to a human zoo and then you just see a bunch
bro,
of black guys.
If
like,
you've
sitting
never
there.
seen a black guy back in the
Yeah.
day,
Yeah,
not so
kinda
boring.
crazy.
I guess so. Yeah.
Kinda
indigenous
wild.
South Americans just like
It's like-
just looking at them.
It's like a pygmy guy or something.
Oh yeah, it'd be fun to be like in the 1910s and be a little midget in the
They
cage.
had him in a cage. He was literally owned by them, and like somehow got his freedom and killed himself a few
Yeah.
months later.
Nice.
More like pick me girl in the cages. Just being like, I'm the coolest zoo attraction here. I actually like being here, having you
Yeah,
look
I'm
at
not
me.
like the other zoo attractions.
I'm not like the other human
Other
zoo
zoo
people.
girls.
Yeah.
Zoo girls, zoophiles.
Yeah.
Do they? If you live in a zoo, I feel like you'd just start fucking animals, probably.
What?
Yeah,
Mm.
I stand by that.
Yeah.
End of topic.
At the Henry Dorley, there's like the whatever one room that you're allowed to like rent out.
Fuck animals.
yeah,
Yeah.
they bring in like a
Badass.
whole host of animals in there, and you just let you fucking go to town.
That, yeah.
You get like 30 minutes, and after that,
They look the other way. They just shut the door. That they're like no one comes in around. And then like a cop is just like busting it down, and there's just like a penguin that you just
And they drop them off at the petting zoo before they put them down.
Yeah,
That's when they're
put 'em
docile and sad.
Mommy,
Mom,
this
look, we
one's
can pet this
leaking.
tiger, and it's just like it's like prone at that point. Yeah.
You go to a petting zoo and you talk to the guy you pay. It's like, how much extra I gotta pay you to let me touch them while they give me a lap dance? He's like, what? What the fuck? What? So you got a special room in the back for regulars?
You start putting you start like giving money to goats and they just start eating it and you're like, does that count? Can I fuck it now?
That was legal tender.
That's just how he chooses to do.
I paid for that.
Just walking around with a puffed up chest, slapping them all in the ass.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Don't
Hey,
touch the merchandise.
Can I get some drinks? No.
Oh, BYOB?
BYOGP. Goat pussy. Bring your own goat pussy.
Well, what's the point if you have to bring your own?
I'm going to the petting zoo to
Like
fuck
the
this
idea
goat.
where it's like it's illegal everywhere else, but in this certain part, there's some sort of like weird law that's like this part you can fuck goats. So it's BYOGP, but you can fuck your goat till the cows come home. Till the cows come home.
How about this? A middle-aged guy shows up to a petting zoo. He's looking in the enclosed area, sees all the kids petting goats and shit. And he goes to the guy. He's like, so I can just pay and go in there and pet all those kids?
He's just lonely, guys. He's just lonely.
Which one of them's the real attraction here? He's like, sir, what?
Attraction? He's like, oh, I know what I'm attractioned
Sir,
to.
are you a pedophile?
You aren't allowed to be here anymore.
I think I was told to look out for you, kind of guy.
I do like the idea that people like unsubtly are just like there's like pedophile dog whistles, but they're so
they
unsubtle that it's like you just say that and it's like, oh, well, you can't be here anymore. It's like I feel like this is not the point of a dog whistle.
I hope
Call
dog
police.
whistles just evolve to the point of pig Latin, where some guy's like, I'm looking to uckface some idskade today.
It's
That's what I'm talking about.
If you know what I mean, wink.
Yeah, Gru, when we were talking about Riverdale is totally made up of pedophiles living there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we had general conversations about that. FP, who's Fart Piss, is
Funny
Jughead's
pedophile.
dad, and we just called him Punny Pedophile, which was absolutely the best name for him. But are you saying that every one of them is a
Y'all
pedophile?
have never seen Riverdale.
We're talking about like all the background characters are just watching these high school students go around and
Yeah.
like, oh my god, it's Cheryl. I can see her bra.
Right, boys, here she comes. The diner is packed with middle-aged men.
Yeah.
Well,
Every booth that's not like the main characters is just people breathing heavily and
Yeah.
watching through newspapers with holes cut out for their
After
eyes.
they leave, they just start looking on their Sunday like bowls.
they get over, they come over there, and Pop's like, "Get out of here! Get out of
Get
here!
away! I gotta watch those.
I'll wash them for you."
You guys make me fucking clean the seats of your cum every fucking day.
That's why they're sticky, not because they're like weird upholstery. It's
Bro,
'cause-
honestly, Riverdale probably unintentionally creates like
Pedophiles,
pedophiles,
yeah.
just for Tasia's sake. Just because like they're casting these like 15-year-olds is like
22
super
to, like,
hot
25.
young 20 people.
Yeah.
So like if you're like younger watching that, you'd be like, God damn, these people are hot, and now you're like, high schoolers are hot.
No. And then, but they also do the thing where all the actors are uncomfortable by it, but you see they're just like, okay, you as Betty are gonna give everyone like a striptease dance in order for your initiation.
really-
Someone writing it should be like, maybe we shouldn't do
Don't
that.
fucking do it.
Yeah, and the biker bar's like, sweet, what is she, a sophomore?
Apparently, the guy who made it is really funny because he had like a gay. He like made Riverdale or whatever, but apparently he's had his infancy when he was like trying to like make plays. He had an unlicensed Archie gay play where they were gonna like fuck each other, and it got shut down by Archie Comics. And then he was like, now I'm gonna go make Riverdale.
I
And
have my
then that's
revenge against the Archie brand.
yeah, I've
Just
ruined it
totally-
for everyone.
Well, I think he's made it more popular than ever. Nobody
Yeah, I
fucking
guess
knew what
so.
Archie was before Riverdale came
I did.
Well,
I read the
okay,
Sonic
like people who
comics.
fucking
A lot of
read
people
Archie comics.
A lot of
yeah.
people watching Riverdale probably still don't know about the
No,
Archie
yeah,
for
comics,
sure.
though, so.
But the branding, the names, that's all
Yeah.
intact.
Yeah.
suppose.
I guess, because, like, but now their characters are, like, unrecognizable. Like, Archie Andrews has become this, like, weird, violent psychopath, I guess.
I
But,
never knew what Archie's character was initially
yeah.
in the comics.
That's
What
true.
was he? He's just a
a
fucking
good boy.
goofy ass kid.
He's just a good boy. He's just a good old good boy with red hair
Yeah.
and a heart of gold.
At least
True
Dennis the
All-American.
Menace has like, you know what Dennis is about.
He's a menace.
Archie
Yeah.
is like,
We should go back to
This is his
explaining the
fucking name.
entire
They should call
plot
him-
of a show in the title.
Yeah.
We need, I mean, that's what, Japan's way ahead of this. The light novel titles got that on lock. They saw Dennis the Menace and they're like, that's efficient storytelling right there. I
they
don't,
don't
have to,
even have to read the book. They just
Yeah.
gotta buy it.
Yeah.
Dune should have been called like I was forced to move to a desert planet and it's filled with this crazy drug.
What?
That's the
And
title
now
of the
I'm,
movie.
yeah.
Oh.
Title of Dune.
Oh, dude. Oh, I like that. That would be cool.
Yeah.
I was forced to move. My aristocratic parents forced me to move to this desert planet, and it's filled with a drug we need to
Yeah.
travel.
And now
No,
I'm
that's
space
not as
cocaine
fun.
Jesus.
Now, yeah, you need to give away the goat of like the twist
Yeah.
in the title, where it's like, actually, I'm the strongest person ever.
Yeah.
Don't give
So-
away your goat. Yeah, fuck that goat.
No, yeah, it's BYOGP.
Yeah.
So you have to bring that. That's not going to be the podcast title. No.
You could make it BYOGP.
Yeah,
Because no one knows what it is until they watch.
That's probably not
It's
even
true,
gonna be
yeah.
the funniest bit on this podcast.
Probably not.
That's
Yeah.
true. We're only
But it's
400
about
bars in.
intrigue.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, you hook them in with that.
No, but speaking of fucking kids, I started reading Scott Pilgrim.
Oh,
And Scott, at the beginning, is dating a 17-year-old, and he's like 23.
Oh, yeah.
And
It's
none of his
legal in
friends
Canada, I
think
guess.
it's weird, though.
no, most of them do.
No,
They're
they
like,
don't.
what are you doing?
They think it's kind of weird, but it's
They're like,
also
okay,
They're a little
way.
too cool with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
They're really not that bothered by it.
Which like that just is like to show his like depravity, but you could have done that with like, oh, I'm like 18. Like the fact that she's still in high school, like
Yeah,
and actively
fucking
attending high school is
weird.
fucking odd. But yeah,
he's picking her
I
up
think
from
it's
high
good
school.
so far. I
Yeah.
don't think it's like a bad form of like storytelling. I think
Yeah.
it works for the character. I just am like, why is everyone so okay with it? Though?
I think his friends are also kind of pieces of shit.
Yeah.
I know that what's it called? I was talking to my cousin last night, and we were talking about his sister, who's 18 and allegedly still wears David Dobrik sweatshirts a lot. She's dating a 26-year-old guy who's still in college because he went to the military for 4 years and got dishonorably discharged and then went back to college.
I want to be that guy.
And he was like, "What? He can't be dating that." And the mom's like, "It's fine. She really likes him. I think he's a good guy." And then and he was like, "I was not okay with that." And I'm like, "I can understand why. That's kind of a weird situation."
He's old enough to know when phones weren't like a regular thing.
Yeah, it is one of those things that I look at and I'm like, you know, as a person who's seen, like, I would be uncomfortable dating anyone who I couldn't take out for a drink, let alone someone who's, like, a college freshman, let alone someone who, like, still dresses like they're in high school.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, that's an odd scenario.
Just in general, they're just not very fucking mature people.
Yeah, well, I was saying, it's like, what would you talk to him about? It's like, did you see that new Squid Game Mr. Beast video? Badass,
Yeah.
wasn't it? It's like, yeah, that's a good in-depth conversation you can have with a high
You
schooler.
can talk to them about TikToks. There's all
Yeah.
sorts of conversations you could have with the
This is
child.
just being a sad, fucked up, dishonorably discharged guy being forced to watch David Dobrik
Yeah.
videos.
Yeah, because you want to fuck a
Their
high
inner
schooler.
monologue's just, I'm so horny!
I mean, I'm assuming this guy could probably relate to David Dobrik pretty well.
Did David
I don't know,
Dobrik
it's about-
rape anyone or what?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
No,
it was.
I
I,
think
thought
it
it
was
was
his
like
friends.
funny
Pretty sure it
friend.
was his friends.
He had like some like wacky name for like a 40-year-old man who would sexually assault everyone who he came into contact with. That was like, oh, funny Fred's over here. He's just like a fun guy, and then it was like, no, he's been a creep for the entire
No.
time he's known him. I guess, but if your name is David Dobrik, apparently you just don't get canceled. Like you can just start uploading again, and people are like, "Oh, I missed you." It's like, okay, all right.
Is that what
Same
happens?
with like Shane Dawson, yeah. They
Let's
just started
change our
uploading.
name to David Dobrik. then.
Change all of our
Yeah,
names.
that'd be badass. Then no one can cancel us for this podcast. David Dobrik multiplied into 4 or 5, depending on the episode, is making this very racist, not cool podcast. And everyone's like, you know what? I kind of like the humor. I kind of see where.
Kind of get what they're doing.
How
Yeah.
about this new pod lore, we're all David Dobrik's horcruxes, and we have to die before he can be canceled.
Okay.
That's true. So you have to kill us. Email us at brownbrickspodcast,
To kill
and we'll
us
send you our
immediately.
address so you can.
We will fight.
Yeah, they'll die.
The
I mean,
house is booby trapped, and we are armed.
yeah, we're armed Home Alone style. So there's like a bunch of frying pans that when you walk up the stairs, if you don't dodge,
with the house first before you get to us.
yeah,
You better fucking take those doorknobs easy. You don't know which of them are hot.
yeah, and which of them will turn you into like a little skeleton because you
Yeah,
get
a little
electrocuted.
electrified skeleton.
Yeah, we don't like that. I mean, we like that because you're
Yeah, we
trying
like
to kill us, I guess.
Oh yeah, we love that.
We're all about the electrified skeleton door.
Yeah, we pause it on the electrified skeleton door and have a group jerk off sesh whenever we watch someone that has done that.
Home Alone?
That's
When we
true.
watch Home Alone?
Yeah,
Or
I'll watch
any-
Home Alone.
Or real.
That's
videos,
what I was getting at.
Or real videos of people skeletoning.
The
from
new Home
electric
Alone with the
doorknobs.
fat little British boy.
Oh, apparently that was really bad.
That one's not.
None
hot
of them
at
have
all.
been good since like 2.
Yeah, I guess so. And since Donald Trump left the series, it's really gone downhill.
Really made the series a lot less potent.
You know what else isn't very good? The new live-action Cowboy Bebop
Yes,
that I
we
finished.
neglected to
Oh,
talk
you
about
watched
it
it?
last
I
week.
watched the entire thing because
Oh,
I didn't want to
God.
come in as like reactionary Jacktionary,
Yeah.
and then I just
Well, at least somebody's seen it. That's good.
yeah. I assume you guys haven't and
No.
just watched like the end scene on repeat and understand that. The thing is, that's not the most egregious part of that last episode. Like I mean, from a like Cowboy Bebop perspective, it's not Cowboy Bebop like at all. But like if I was like, okay, this is a different show has nothing to do with Cowboy Bebop, half the episodes would be tolerable, and the other half of them would be some of the worst television I've ever seen. Because like the actors they got to pull, so like Jet is really good. That guy, he plays Jet really well. Spike, he plays Spike okay. Faye's
Yeah.
just like not Faye at all. They like changed her. They changed her from like this person who's like like feminine Fujiko Mine-esque chick who like tries to seduce guys and then steals their money into just like a Joss Whedon character
Yeah.
where she just like swears and is like a badass female girl, and it's like that's not like that just makes her like less interesting from like a character perspective. And they also like, so it's weird because people were talking about it's like, is Cowboy Bebop too woke now because they casted Jet as a black
Yeah,
guy?
it's like,
And I'm
what?
like, but it's one of those things where I looked at it and I was like, they took all like the biting social commentary that's actually woke like out of the show, because like what's interesting is that in the original Cowboy Bebop there was an episode where Jet, he like, it's Black Dog Serenade, so it's like it's Jet back when he's in the police force and he realizes that basically everyone on the cops is corrupted and like they're all like have like ins with like different crime syndicates and all this stuff, and it's like a commentary on how the Yakuza just like work with the cops and stuff, and it's like, yeah, this entire system, it's fucked. So Jet couldn't even be there and he has to leave. But then in the Black Dog Serenade from this show, they go in and they're like, actually, there was only one bad cop, and all the rest of them have the moral high ground on you now because you're a bounty hunter. Even the guy who fucked Jet's wife behind his back in every single scene that he's in, he's like, you're all right, actually. You're a good cop. And so the officer NTR just comes in and he's just like,
What?
actually, Jet, you don't really know what you're talking about. Most cops are good cops. And they're like, you're right. I'm glad you know
Oh
that.
my God.
And then there's also...
Why would you have that
the fuck?
episode in current year?
No, but like it's more than like there's also the one where because Faye's whole backstory is about her, she got cryo frozen from like 1999 or something, and then got like basically transported that year, but then she was under like this mountain of medical debt because of that, because it was like, oh, you have to pay off that, and then other people inside the hospital then like conned her again, and then she got more debt, and so that's her entire thing where she's like trying to pay that off, and it's all about like, hey, maybe like
Medical
institutionalized
debt
like
is
medical stuff, it's
Yeah.
like that's kind of bullshit, and you can like really charge people like insane amounts of money for that, which is like an interesting way to take the character. But in this one, it's literally like, actually, all of the places that you go for medicine, super cool. It was only one guy who was bad, and they got fired from the hospital, and they got fired, but they scammed her out of all her money, and she's the only person that's bad in this system. Everyone else is good, and it's like it takes
God.
all of the nuance out of it, and like turns it from like a kind of dystopian like, hey, we're just trying to get by. We're just like, we're cowboys just trying to like go about our daily lives and
Trying
like
to
try
do
to
bebop.
hunt people. But then, yeah, we're trying to space jazz it up. But then instead in this one, it's like, actually, things are okay here. Capitalism is a good thing.
Who
Which, like,
produced this? Like, who?
Netflix, I guess. I don't know. There was like some guy. It's also just like really poorly written. You guys have seen all those shows, like the
clip.
Is that blackmail?
Blackmail.
Well, Jed, you are black and you are male. So I think have you seen that one?
No.
Or it's just like an old lady who's
like an old
blackmailing
white lady.
Jed. Yeah, and she delivers it as best she could. Like that's about you want to just deliver that in the most flirty way because it's like, is that blackmail? And he's like, I hope it is because Jed, you are black and you are male.
That is like a joke that like a toddler would write after learning what jokes are.
That's exactly
like
how.
learning what a pun is. They're like, all right, what's a word? Blackmail. What's black and
Black
male?
and male. Oh, we can use that. We can use that in this.
That's a joke.
But that's the entirety of this show, has like all of those things. And like every scene feels like they watched Bebop and they're like, we kind of understand. They're like, no, you don't understand why they did it like that. Like you understand that things happened on the screen and you're trying to replicate them. But then you change things that are like, oh, you changed the entire meaning and like dynamic of the scene by it's terrible. But Arcane's pretty good. Watch that instead.
Arcane is good.
Arcane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the League of Legends one?
League of
I saw
Legends
you
show.
watching?
Yep.
I played like maybe like 20 hours of League of Legends tops, so I don't know anything about it. But
Yeah.
Arcane's pretty fucking good.
Arcane's
Yeah.
good even
Is it
if you
pretty
have no
canon?
knowledge.
Is it
It is the
canon
new.
to-
It's the new canon.
Yeah,
Okay.
which I think people are okay with because they're like, well,
Yeah,
League
it's
of
good.
Legends canon was whatever before, and now they're like, okay, this is cool.
Yeah, they got a
Yeah.
real ass TV show.
I have an idea for a Home Alone spin-off.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's
True.
Biden just won the election and he's gonna go to the White House, but Trump is the only one there. He doesn't want
To
Biden's
stop him.
administration to come in. So he's booby trapping the White House.
What about the Capitol protester riots come in and it's AOC and she's got to set up like marbles to make him trip and like
Trip
and like
down the
tags
hallway.
electrocute some of the guy in the buffalo hat. They've just got to be like, no, the doorknob, and AOC's like chee chee chee. Oh.
Chee
Chee,
chee
chee,
chee.
I was talking to Phineas a couple of days ago that there's a guy from Kyaketo Hitoman Reborn that laughs like that. In 6th grade, I was like, that's badass. I'm gonna laugh like that. And then I was like, and then everyone's like, okay, that's weird. And so then I tried to stop doing it, but then it like comes out occasionally when I'm like subtle laughing, and I'm like, oh no, it's just a part of me now. The cringe, it'll never die.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't think that's true.
No, it is.
I think you're lying.
I know, it's true. You can listen back to this podcast, dear listeners. Listen to all the old episodes and find all the ones where I laugh like
Well,
that.
If you don't find it, listen to it again.
And if you don't find
And
it,
just keep listening.
dire consequences. That's all I'm gonna say.
If you find it, you get $3 billion.
$3 million gajillion
Billion
dollars.
trillion dollars.
Liam will pay it.
Yeah.
I'll pay you.
On
And-
his tab.
Bitcoin.
Brickcoin, yeah, 3 million bajillion Brickcoin. All for you, our dear listeners.
Damn.
Do you guys have a good small business Saturday?
Was that a thing?
What was
Oh, it was a thing. Oh, it
I
was a
bought
thing.
some Black Friday stuff. I treated myself to a new monitor and a new SSD. For
Oh,
my
hell yeah.
computer.
That's
Oh
awesome.
shit! What are you gonna do with your old one?
I'm gonna
What
keep
monitor?
it. I'm gonna keep it so I can
you
have two
got
monitors.
Okay.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That changes the game.
Yeah.
Like,
I've wanted two monitors for so long.
I live in
I
a.
like having stuff on my main screen and also being able to like see some side shit. Now I don't have to alt tab.
It's good for homework too, because
Yeah.
I mean you can do like the split screen with Macs, but I enjoy just having like something over there, something over there.
Yeah.
My room's a literal nightmare prison sometimes, but I still do a lot of work in there because I have 2 monitors, and I'm like, the utility outweighs the fact that I slowly lose sanity every time that I'm in here for more than 8 hours.
Cramped.
No, just no windows.
Oh.
And
Who
so,
the
like,
fuck about that?
I do.
No, you will.
You will. You. I didn't think I would, which is why my roommate was like, "I'll take $100 off your rent if you take the room with no windows." And I was like, "Deal."
I mean, it's worth it for $100 off the rent, but yeah, it'll get to you.
It's worth it, but like, from my perspective, it's one of those things where I was like, I'd pay $100 just to, I'd pay
Just to see you,
just to see us, son. It's the fact that the light is the same at all times of the day, at all hours of the day, at all hours of the night. you always get this horrible UV light shining down. I bought one of those things on Amazon that's like the like window approximating thing.
Day-night
so
cycle.
Yeah.
Light.
So it makes me think. It makes me think I
You're
live in a world.
prison, though.
Yeah.
Does it help though?
No, it hasn't arrived. I bought it on Black Friday.
Oh, okay.
But I only bring up Small Business Saturday because the day before that, Black Friday, me and Phineas had a grand old time. We went out to the bars and stuff.
Oh, yeah, you could go.
It was
Fuck.
awesome. We got fucked up is the main point of that. We went out, we did some hypothetical drugs, and then we went out and got very drunk, hypothetically.
Yeah, I blacked out.
No, that
Yeah.
part is also that part's real.
That part was real. That part was real. But I was having a great time. I loved it. And then I got home and I was like, oh wait, my parents yesterday explicitly said, hey Jack, we're going to Small Business Saturday tomorrow with you and your sister, so you better be up by that time. And I know you're going to go out with friends, but you better be up for Small Business Saturday. And they were going to hold me to that. Ooh. And I was like, oh, I guess I gotta do that. So I just went in and pulled trig and threw up my burrito, and I was like, cool. Damn. I think I'm ready. And then I woke up at 6 a.m. with the world's worst headache, and I was like, oh no. And so I go downstairs and I grab 2 ibuprofens, and my dad's like, you're up early, and I'm like, gotta prep for Small Business Saturday. And then I just kill 2 ibuprofens, and I go back upstairs and I fall asleep until 8:30, and my parents are like, we're going at 9, Jack. And I was like, because I fell asleep at 3. And so I was like, oh, this is gonna be bad. And I felt awful, but then they were like, Jack, we gotta go at 8:55. And then so I got up, I threw on everything, and I was like, time to just rally. And I just killed a bottle of water. I went downstairs, and my mom knew that I was out too late, and that's why I was not fully with it. And she's like, you're driving. And I was like, am I driving right now? And so I was like, and I think my dad knew how severe it was, and he's like, you don't have to. I was like, no, I got this. Because I was like, if I go out and I'm just like, no, I can't drive, I'm too hungover from how drunk I was last night, my mom's gonna be mad at me. So I was like, you know what? Just gotta man up, just gotta go, I just gotta drive. And so, but then also, they were like, we're driving your car. And I was like, and we were smoking in it, so it just smelled like cigarettes. And I was like, is it in back? And she's like, no, I guess the other car's in back, so we'll take that one. So we took that one, we were driving out, and I was like, we're fine. So we were going to, 13th Street. Do you guys know where, Little Bohemia is?
Yeah.
We were going there because there's a bunch of small business shops, and we were gonna go to Archetype to get a muffin and some coffee beforehand. And I felt fucking horrible, but I was driving, I was doing fine. I was keeping up, and I got onto the point where it was 30. You know the Walgreens on 30th, that's over by Midtown Crossing. Midtown Crossing.
Oh yeah.
That place. It was I just got there. And we were talking normally, and I was like, I think I'm gonna throw up. And my dad was like, what? And I was like, I'm gonna throw up right now. And he's like, what? And he's like, I guess pull over. So I got halfway into the Walgreens parking lot, and my other half was outside. I just opened the door, and I started projectile vomiting onto the ground as my dad just starts busting out laughing, and my mom's looking on in shocked horror, and my sister's also laughing. And I'm like, I'm good. And I just I vomited out maybe 5 gallons of stuff, and then I'm like, okay, we're good. And my dad was like, you don't have to drive anymore. And then we started, I barely got any on the seat. I was good enough to open the door, and I got a little on my hand, a little on the side. My dad was he busted out paper towels and a jug of water, and he's like, good thing I have this in my car. Good thing we won my car, or else this could have been bad. So he busted it out and cleaned it out.
And then in the car.
Yeah, and then I just sat back, and I just sat in the back seat, and then they were like, oh, don't worry, I'll drive. We're still going to Small Business Saturday, though. And I was like, okay. And so we get to Archetype, and then my dad's like, you want a cold brew, right? And I'm like, that would be great for my stomach right now. And my parents, I thought they were going to be pissed at me, but my mom was like, wow, you really rallied. You really got up and gave it your best. The fact that you got up and felt that horrible, and it was just you know what? You really got out there and did it. And then we basically just shopped at small businesses for 4 hours. I got back home, and then it was 12. And they were like, oh, let's watch the Michigan game. We'll be like, I'll be right back. And I just went up into my room and fell asleep. And Vinny's like, we're still doing lunch, right? And I was like, no, we're not doing lunch. And so then that was my small business Saturday. Shop small, people.
You should have told me you supported small businesses the night before.
Yeah.
Good.
Supported a couple small businesses.
I was too busy supporting small businesses. I wanted to get in there at 12.
Supporting Chris small business.
Yeah.
In Colorado.
Yeah, we sure were. Yeah.
I, on the other hand, even though I blacked out, I woke up at 9:30. I'm like, I wonder why I have no hangover at all.
I took your pain. It was like, what's it, the Green Mile, where the guy could like take sicknesses. I was like, I bore it.
It was like it's like when Zorro took all the pain.
Yeah, nothing happened.
Yeah.
That's what I was throwing up. My parents were like, what just happened last night? I'm like, nothing happened. As I'm like dripping with blood.
That was as Phineas woke up feeling great.
Yeah.
In the Walgreens parking lot.
That was pretty good. But yeah, so that's my funny story.
Don't mix drugs, kids.
Yeah.
Don't mix, or do. It was fun.
Or do.
It was fun at the time.
Whatever you think is going to sound the coolest.
If you're going out to bars, only do a quarter of a Xanax.
Yeah.
Not half of one.
Yep.
Depending on your size, I imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, also, if you're going out to bars, ask your parents to shop small at like 11. As opposed to 9.
Let them know that Sunday also starts with an S.
Let them know.
Businesses don't close exactly at 12 p.m.
Yeah. You don't have to, like, rush out. Like, they'll still be there.
What if you, shoot up heroin, but you took yourself up to a life support machine first, so you could just OD?
So you get
48 hours later, you regain consciousness.
This is
that was awesome.
That was really cool.
You wouldn't be able to form coherent sentences anymore because that part of your brain would be completely fried. But it would be pretty fucking sweet. But I don't know. I mean, that's the whole thing that did we talk about the thing where it's like the like belt that like lets go of you once it realizes you've stopped struggling after you've been beating off. So once it realizes that you've like stopped struggling, it just like lets go and you're like, oh, okay.
Ooh, I'm alive.
Yeah, because you don't want to like, you want to edge, but you don't want to like, get 100% there.
Yeah.
Sounds like a cool machine.
Sounds like a machine I should invest heavily into. Yeah.
It's a patent right
It's a
there.
patent Oswald.
You get sued for preemptive release. You like slow down for a second and it releases and you're like, no!
It's effective!
Yeah, that's the thing. You were
Going
like,
to court over that. And they're like, so, Mr. Silverling, what was the issue you were having with their product? Like, I was trying to autoerotic asphyxiate myself, but it released me and I couldn't come.
and I had to answer a text, so I moved over and I stopped jacking up and I was just typing, but it viewed that as me being knocked out, which is not what that's like at all. I should know. I do it all the time.
I'm just a very docile person.
Yeah, that would be funny if a person like sues you because like they'll keep trying to do that, but they're such a gentle jack offer that it's like you're not even moving.
Off.
So you have to get like a sensitivity setting.
Yeah, suing people make fleshlights because they don't make you come hard enough.
This fake pussy isn't squeezing me tight enough.
Yeah, this disgusting $5 fake pussy that you can buy from like a gas station, that's not squeezing me hard enough.
Suing those
Suing the
fleshlights
goats.
modeled after porn stars and being like, I examined the videos. This is not her.
I want so like how like Japanese companies when they have to apologize, they get all their investors up there and they all bow to like the crowd to be like, we're sorry, like I want a fleshlight thing where it's like you didn't come hard enough and they all like bow to apologize.
That would happen.
And everyone just starts taking pictures.
It's the person the vagina's modeled off of, but they bow the other way.
Yeah, see, it's just
Look,
like it.
It is her pussy.
How do you model that? You just like
you stick like some mold up in there.
mold, not even like
Plaster
mold
Paris.
in like the epoxy sense. Like mold
Yeah.
is in like the
Black mold.
disgusting growth, and you're just like once it grows out, you just pull it out, and it's like a tree that's planted its
Yeah.
roots in that form.
Yeah.
And you're like, this could approximate it, and they're like, this is not pleasant
This
to
doesn't
jack
feel
off.
good at all. This is gross.
Mold on my dick.
I thought when we were talking about crypto earlier, I thought of a pickup line. Yeah. Girl, are you a cryptocurrency scam? Because I want to fucking pump and dump.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Kind of stepped on my punchline, Tage, but it's okay.
Yeah.
You
welcome.
were getting it fast.
You're welcome.
What about a cryptid?
Sure, I was.
A cryptid
Cryptid
I could
currency?
understand.
You know that
I love
exists.
that.
You know that exists.
Cryptid currency, dude.
It's cryptid coin.
Except I feel like that would work better as NFTs because then you'd be able to make different little ones.
Yeah, you
know?
could make a Sasquatch smoking DMT.
Yeah. Or a little Nessie, Tahoe Tessie.
Or some sort of mythical spooky drug.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. What would be the spooky? What's the spookiest drug? Heroin.
the ghoulish
I don't know.
drug.
I guess fentanyl.
Yeah, fentanyl's pretty damn spooky. If I do say so myself.
Recreationally doing
Fentanyl.
fentanyl. Happy fentanyl Halloween.
Fenton Halloween. I put a couple of things of I'm mostly handed out Kit Kats, but I put a couple of things of fentanyl and a couple of kids Kit Kats. How do you ingest fentanyl? Do you
You
inject it?
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure. Or
That
at
it's in needles.
traditionally.
Imagine not only do you bake the needle into the cookie, but you also add fentanyl into the needle, so it's quick acting. The moment that it injects, it's we got him. That'd be cool.
Just like a cupcake with a needle comically sticking out the side of it. And you're like, here, have a bite.
And it's got the other side with the little the
plunger,
push thing.
yeah.
Yeah, the plunger on the other side, so it's sticking out precariously through it, like a cross out. You plug this in somewhere.
That'd be a funny prank to prep up some fentanyl needles and go around in public and get people.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
That would be a good prank.
Yeah, sick prank, guys.
All right, guys. Today we're out on Hollywood Boulevard. We got a lot of fentanyl, and there's a lot of people.
Prank
Fucking
Nation.
blowgun. Just
Yeah, fentanyl blowgun. They're like, this is an act of domestic terrorism. I don't think you
I think
understand.
this is a prank.
Yeah, aren't all pranks just an act of domestic terrorism?
I agree, especially the fart one.
Oh,
shows us.
yeah, those are
Fart
pretty
pranks.
bad.
That's terrorism.
They
in my
should
eyes.
have to do real farts on the fart
They
pranks
They should,
and actually make it stinky.
and they also shouldn't be able to talk.
I don't want people to react to the sound. I want them to react to the smell.
Phineas, would you like those fart pranks better if he was saying his silly lines after he farted every time, or if he was duct taped at the mouth so he couldn't do that, but people would just see a man with duct tape over his mouth fart on their face
A man
and
in
then waddle
A
away?
man in a gimp suit walking around downtown New York just farting on
Farting,
people.
chatting
It's a
on
prank!
people. It's a prank.
Have you guys seen those videos on YouTube from 2013, 14, 15, and all the weed YouTubers? And they all get in a garage or a room and somehow produce immense amounts of marijuana smoke. And they'd all
Somehow.
sit in there and be like, "Oh right, this is cool." And they're all just
Like a
sitting
hot
together,
box?
And it looks
Yeah.
genuine.
Hot-
Hotboxing it.
Like a weed
But,
sauna.
Like out of leaf blowers and stuff, and
Oh my
it's
god.
packed full. It looks hot, and everyone looks unhealthy. There's loud music playing, and they're all like, "Oh, this is so cool."
That'd be awesome, dude.
Oh,
Seems like a
it's a
nightmare.
lifestyle.
I want to do that with 2 pounds of heroin. Pat.
You would just die, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Shut up.
Shut up,
Yeah,
pussy.
you're fine.
Not as powerful if you smoke it.
How do you... Heroin's injecting, right?
People smoke it too, though.
You
Oh,
can
okay.
snort it too, but it fucks you up. Like in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
That girl snorted it because she thought it was coke.
Uh,
That's gonna happen to
Dumb
me.
whore.
dumb bitch.
Stupid whore. You don't know what heroin powder looks like.
yeah,
Yeah.
but if you have a thing of narcan on you though, you're invincible.
Does
Yeah.
anybody
Yeah, that's...
take naloxone recreationally?
What's naloxone? Is that like a laxative?
Narcan.
Yeah.
Probably not. No.
No, just the anti-high.
I mean, at least
think it
one
does-
guy has tried it, just
Yeah,
in
I don't think it does
isolation.
anything. Yeah.
And it
Because
was
he's
just
tried
like,
every
oh,
other
this is-
chemical.
Maybe felt like a little sick, but wouldn't have any good high, I would imagine.
Boring.
Yeah, I assume it doesn't feel I assume it doesn't just cancel out the effects of the drugs where you're like, I'm fine now. I assume it's a bad come down with whatever.
Yeah.
You'll survive, but it's oh, you're not gonna feel good after yet.
It just stops
Yeah,
it
no,
from
but
doing
it's
any more
immediate
damage.
though. They were telling us
Yeah, it's super
going
fast, I think.
doing EMT training and stuff. They said sometimes you don't want to administer Narcan because they'll just get pissed. They get pissed that you took away their high and they become more combative. So you just have to toe the line between, like, as long as they're not, like, stop
foaming
breathing,
at
like,
the mouth.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
fuck, you don't want to administer Narcan to someone.
That's so funny.
You
And
don't
purely because
deserve
it's like,
this narc.
I like the idea at the EMT training that they're just like, because they paid for that heroin,
Yeah,
and
don't
you're just
be a-
taking away all the high.
Don't be a
There.
fucking loser and
Yeah.
ruin their high.
That would be funny if,
They
like,
should make that for alcohol, and we can use it at the bar, and people are too drunk, just stab them with a needle. And they're
Yeah.
like, oh, God
I'm
damn
so I'm sorry I was being such an asshole, but Christ.
Like,
Dude.
God damn it, I paid like $50 for a drink tonight.
There's a pretty good body cam video of a cop. There's this guy that's OD'd in his car. The cop's like, oh shit, and he's got Narcan and nasal spray. He's like giving it to him. He does it like 4 times,
Oh
which
my
you're
God.
not supposed to do. The guy comes back, he's like, okay, but the paramedics show up and he's like, I Narcaned him, and the paramedic's like, how many times? He's like, 4. He's like, God damn it! He goes, you're the one that taught me.
I learned this from watching you.
4 times.
But yeah, there's some good shit of paramedics complaining about cops. Somebody's having an episode from their diabetes or something, and they Narcan them for like an epileptic seizure, and they're out like, get the Narcan. You overdosed.
I do like the idea that, like, any person having, like, any sort of,
They're
like,
unconscious.
yeah, they're just...
Probably
it's a
fucking
person
criminal.
with, like, a head wound that's, like, bleeding, and they're just like, get the Narcan on it.
Somebody's severely
Get the
dehydrated with
Narcan
heat
on.
stroke. They're like,
Yeah.
get the Narcan out here.
Narcan, more like Narcant in those situations.
Can we do it? Yes. we
Narcould.
can.
Narcould, I guess.
Or could I won't is what cops call it.
Narwhal.
Could I want?
Narwhal. It's Narwhal. If
Nardwar.
you get stabbed by one of their little horns, do you get unhide?
You kill avocado.
Yeah, does the
Avocado.
Narcan bacon at midnight?
Does the Narcan bacon? They would stab you with Narcan if you said that. They'd be
Stab
like,
you.
"This guy's on something different," and you're like, "Yeah, Reddit." And you're like,
I'm
"Ah."
gonna OD on heroin, so when they give me Narcan and I'm coherent again, I'm like, does the Narcan bacon at midnight? And then they'll shoot me dead.
But you sound-
and the world will be a better place if you said that. Anybody who says, "Does the Narcan bacon
They
at
toss you
midnight?"
out of the back of the
I-
fucking ambulance.
If they killed them, they'd be touted as heroes.
Yeah.
I
don't
think.
understand the joke. Does the narc?
There was
Killing
a
stupid
Redditors. We
Yeah.
There
have
was an old
Redditors.
thing on Reddit where it's like, oh, guys, let's have a secret phrase to identify other Redditors. And it's like, you're meant to ask people if you think they're Redditor, does the narwhal bacon at midnight?
And the answer is yes.
No,
What
and
is the Narcan?
There's not a second like.
It's
cool-
like-
no, it's when does the narwhal bacon
Oh,
at
yeah.
midnight?
Thank you, Jack, for being the superior.
This is a worse thing. This is an indictment of my character. They've got a lot of clips from me on this podcast. They're gonna show that
That's
one
the
in
most
court.
fucked up one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I ever run for Supreme Court Justice, they're gonna be like, we found this podcast, and they're not gonna play any of the other things, but they're gonna be like, look, he knows the Reddit, he knows the Reddit dog
Reddit
whistle.
catchphrase.
And you,
The Reddit
they
dog
find
whistle.
evidence that you've like raped a woman, but like that doesn't stop you from becoming a Supreme
Yeah.
Court justice. They're like, what about this? And was like, boo, no, riots
Yeah.
on the street.
Down, yeah.
Redditor.
Yeah, everyone's just like, we've got at least
The
like,
first Reddit Supreme Court judge.
yeah, just like, and gold should be free. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, you know they're all
One of
gonna
the,
like this
one of the
guy.
justices say something and you just go, this.
You know how they all get to like decide which cases they try and like bring before the Supreme Court. Like
Yeah.
they get their own like little group together and talk about it. And you're the only guy who's like trying to bring up like age of consent, trying to lower that down. You're like, no, you bring this to every Supreme Court meeting.
You can't keep doing this. Is this like a joke? And I'm just like, I'm dead serious. I take my job very
I
seriously.
want it to be 12.
Yeah, I want. That would be the first libertarian court justice.
But only for women.
Little boys are safe.
Yeah,
We have
they
to
mature
We
faster
have to
than us.
raise the age of consent for men.
So
You're only allowed to be a pedophile in this new country.
we also have to rage the BMI of consent. So like you have to be a certain. You can't be like fit and get fucked. Somebody like tests that and they're like, actually, I raped you. I think I'm not because you have a 6-pack.
Statutory BMI.
There's pedophiles across the country that are appealing their cases straight to the Supreme Court of the United States. And you're like, bring it in. Let's overturn this.
It'd be so funny that people people are like, there are people. We're letting this guy go free, but there are people in jail right now that have weed charges on them for having like a gram of weed. And it's like there are people on there who have fucked like only 7 12-year-olds, like, and they're just sitting in jail rotting for some reason.
For something that's not a crime.
And yet you let Rittenhouse go? Not in my country. That would be the argument of the one guy who he shot, though, right? Yeah. He's like, I'm going to jail for being a pedophile like 8 times, but you're letting this guy get out.
Well, you're the Supreme Court justice who takes it up there because you want Rittenhouse in jail because he shot a pedophile.
Oh, yeah. They're a protected class now. That's a hate crime. It's a hate crime to shoot a pedophile.
Everyone's like, oh, this guy's not, like, super crazy. You start your rant about the case, and you're like, and he killed one of our own.
One of our own. But every one of the Supreme Court justices, they wouldn't publicly do it, but they'd start nodding. They'd be like, yeah, you're right. He is one of our own.
You start a Avenge Epstein campaign.
Avenge Epstein.
After all the good work he did. Matchmaking.
That's
keeping our culture alive through this dark time.
Epstein was the Tinder of pedophiles. What's like the elite Tinder where it's like you have to have a certain like
Rhea.
Yeah, Rhea. You have to it is really annoying when I hear like podcasters who have like a following of maybe like 100,000 people are like, yeah, I was on Rhea, and I was like,
can I get on Rhea?
Yeah, probably right now. Let's do this.
All the
probably not.
In
Nebraska.
Yeah.
Some dogs. Larry the Cable Guy's on there, and no one else.
Let's see how much
live
money
here.
have we made so far?
Like
227, boys.
Oh shit!
Damn,
that's pretty good, honestly.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Keep watching. Watch on repeat.
Donate money even.
Yeah.
They don't have a place to donate money.
They do now, I guess. I actually tried to explicitly block the donation of money, but apparently the moment that we get sponsored by Anchor, they make you turn on the donations for the podcast, where it's like, and you can donate. You can support the
cut.
Yeah, it's like you can support the podcast here, and I'm like, no.
Just make a PayPal for it. Easy.
Yeah, it's true. Make a what's like the least safe form of that? Make a mail address that will send back any cash, but you can send us your credit card.
And
like,
we do give change
for the credit card.
Mail us your credit card, and we'll send it back.
Well, no, mail us a credit card with how much money we should charge to our Venmos for it, and we'll send it back right after we're done doing that.
We'll send it back.
You can leave a tab open.
Yeah, of course.
I'll write down the numbers, don't you worry. You can have the credit card
Just
back.
like, hey, can you pay for dinner? How much cash on me right now? It's like, oh, I mailed my credit card to a podcast.
What? Why have you done this?
They're funny.
Brown bricks. Guys, you want to check this one out, and then the first thing that they hear about is our bring your own goat vagina, goat pussy. And they're like,
Pussy.
yeah, I can see why you mailed your credit card to these guys.
What if they just had goat fleshlights? Because there's a lot of animal fuckers that come. You can't stop them from going after the animals. Here, take a fleshlight.
Like a dog. Like a dog. You're just like, hey, over here. Come on.
Oh, okay.
Setting up stationary decoy goats at a petting zoo so people don't
No, they can't be too stationary. They have to be moving around a little bit, or else they don't think it's real.
Animatronics.
Yeah, like wind-up toys, but it's scaled up and with.
Yeah, and they like do like they walk, but there's still like wheels under them, so it's just like their legs like moving out of sync to how fast they're going.
The pussy has one of those anti-rape devices in it.
The one like the Chinese finger traps, but in your vagina. Yeah,
and then they walk them into their holding cell. They're like,
Getting dragged around by their cock.
And this is in a petting zoo. So they're like kids like petting goats, and a guy getting dragged around by his dick towards the holding
He's reaching
cell.
out for kids. Help me! Help me!
And got me penis!
No, the holding cells is the whole other. It's all the way across the zoo. So you go across everything. You know, like,
Yeah,
the
a
aquarium,
peacock
you
starts
like,
pecking.
oh, this is just a joke. I swear.
People are taking pictures.
That's the new exhibit.
Don't look at me.
Somebody give me a mask or something.
Yeah.
Pictures.
You know how there's like peacocks that'll like roam around our zoo.
Yeah.
But there's just like people getting dragged by their dicks in the goat thing. That'll just because the goats get like stuck in gate places and they'll just be like sitting there. They'll be like, help.
I'm never socially recovered from this.
Some of them chew off their own cocks like an animal. Kind of
He escaped. We gotta follow the trail of blood.
No, it's not even a holding cell. It's just a half hour of that shame and then never doing it.
Honestly, that would work. If
That
there's
would be a lot of shame.
No, but then it's a game for them. Like, I'm gonna get a real goat next time. But they make the animatronic ones so sexy.
Yeah.
They bleed
Yeah,
really.
they make him look like
That one's asking for it.
Yeah, they get to the petting zoo and they see the goats like, oh, I think that one's fake. Like, goddamn. That is a gushy gussy right there.
It's got like that Among Us bouncing ass as it walks. Yeah, that'd be pretty. It's like, oh god. So it's still a challenge.
That.
I know I shouldn't, but
This one's definitely a sting.
I only need one pump.
I'll get in and out before the trap can close.
That's not how physics works. Yeah. And we know this because we've all been subject to it. We just have a guy on standby so he can do the thing. Because you know with the Chinese finger trap, you can like hold it close and then you can like slide your... So we have a guy who will just hold our cock and hold the goat and slide it in close so we can slide our dick out. We need to make sure that one of us is on standby.
yeah.
That's the problem. We've gotten too organized as goat rapists.
Goat rapists, they're determined people.
Yeah. They're a noble, determined people.
Yeah. I respect them, but
I'm not one of them,
they
but
have
I
to
can
be
respect
I'm not a goat rapist.
No.
I just respect them a lot. And like to think about what their mind is like.
Yeah, I'm like you know how chicks listen to like true crime and like obsess over like weird serial murders? I'm a guy who obsesses over goat rapists in that same way. Just tries to analyze what makes their mind like that. You ever I guess everybody's seen a girl that likes true crime at an unhealthy amount probably, I assume.
Yeah.
Not even like just heard about them. They're like, "Hey, check this out." But I was thinking about getting my grandma into true crime because she has this uncanny ability.
Give her a heart attack so she dies.
No,
and get her
because
money.
she I think she gets off on it because whatever. I don't want to think about that. For too
So
long,
you're
but-
trying to get your grandma off.
Knowledge wise, yes. But she's like, she has this uncanny ability to turn any like conversation like macabre. So she'll be like for example, recently in a text chain with me and my family, she was like, we were talking about the like Husker volleyball game, and my dad was just texted and he's like, watching the Huskers, hopefully they win tonight, and she's like, yeah, I'm flipping back between that and like a whatever, the Wachowski murders or whatever, I don't know what it was called. And he was like, oh, well, it's on Channel 5, so like you should watch the Husker game. And she's like, I know, have you heard about this? 10 kids dead, all killed by their parents and burned the house down. Very sad. And then my dad's like, no, I haven't heard about that one, but I'm just watching the game. And she's like, I hope they all rot in hell. Like that was the conversation that was had. And I'm like, and she does that every time because she just watches too much news, and she's like, that's the world we live in, and this is an interesting topic of conversation. I know Jack will like it when I talk about this.
You should set up a fake ARG crime for him to solve.
I don't think she likes sleuthing. I think she literally just likes watching the world burn.
She might like sleuthing. You
That's
don't know.
true. Maybe that's the key that was missing. Maybe she'll turn into like a geriatric Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes at...
You have to like dress up as a cop and wait outside a police station. So if she goes to report it, you're like, oh, we're not taking that case.
Yeah, you gotta be like, that one,
You're
it's
a crazy old lady. And she's like, looks like I'll have to solve this one myself.
Yeah, she goes to report it, and the police are like, this is a big deal. 5 kids died, and we didn't know about this? And I'm like, actually, I set this up for my grandma as an ARG, for fun. I did kill those children, though. That's completely irrelevant.
It's like Murder, She Wrote, but Murder, She Watched.
Yeah, murder.
Son, who did it?
I don't know. You guys want to help me set up an ARG for my grandma to solve a
a
murder?
true crime ARG for Jack's
Does your
grandma.
grandma want to do it?
Yes.
No, she doesn't know it's in the ARG. She thinks it's a crime she has to solve because the police won't listen to her.
She
Yeah.
sounds less like she wants to solve it. She more would want to be like the lethal injection thing.
Yeah. Oh, she would be like, hey, you know what? I don't want to deal with the legwork, but if you ever catch him, I'll be the guy who cuts his testicles off.
Well, then she has no conviction, and I don't respect her.
No, she gets the job done. It's dirty, but she gets the job done.
She's not doing
She's
the
like the
sleuthing, does
Punisher.
she?
Yeah. What?
She's not doing the sleuthing. She doesn't.
Yeah,
She
it's
was
true.
only doing the execution.
She gets the job literally done. Like, she doesn't do any of the other part of the job, but the done part, she gets that.
Yeah, well, no respect. Still then.
I respect your no respect of my grandma.
Fuck your grandma.
Grandma's bad at crime solving.
Yeah.
Fuck your grandma.
Your grandma couldn't be a detective.
She's gonna listen to this now, because obviously she listens to this.
Well, yeah,
podcast.
I'm trying to
better hope
stoke the
not.
fire in her heart.
Yeah, no, she's gonna be looking over at her like magnifying glass and Sherlock Holmes hat, and she's like, one more ride.
Looks like it's
just
time
to prove
to
the
dust
younger,
these off.
just to prove the younger generation wrong.
Yeah.
And she fails.
Yeah.
Grandma pussy, gussy. It's
Nope.
really gussy.
Nope, we're not
That's
talking about that.
We're not saying
Wait.
your grandma's pussy.
But we
Just-
we segue from that to that, so I feel like there's an implication that we're missing
No,
here.
Gussie is goat pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's another
Gussy?
type of gussy.
Grissy.
Grussy.
Greasy Grissie.
Greasy, grussy.
Grussy.
Damn, that's
Grussy is
Eating
when you
out an old
fuck-
lady and being like, there's some gristle on this grissy.
there's some gristle.
Grussy is when you fuck Gru from Despicable Me.
Does he fuck you with his nose? Because then I'm into that.
No, you fuck his nose.
Is
That's
he,
his
is he supposed to
Grussy.
be Jewish? Canonically
No.
Jewish?
Yes. No,
No.
absolutely he is.
He-
Are you kidding?
Well, he's
He has
an evil
the-
character, right?
He's
gotta
a,
be Jewish.
he's an
That's
evil.
evidence.
Well, he stops being evil, so.
No, he doesn't stop being evil. He still wants to be evil, but he does too much good, which is a commentary on the amount of plays that the Jews fund for their community centers.
I'm gonna scour
that makes sense.
the Despicable Me movies for
Despicable.
a clip of him eating pork or something.
That would be funny. Like in Despicable Me 3, they got too many complaints over the movies of him being Jewish, and they're like, yummy pork. I have this all the time, and I'm not
very
forbidden
halal.
from doing it.
Favorite food, pork.
My favorite food, even when I was a child and very Catholic. This nose is an
Orthodox
affect.
Christian.
Anyways, time to steal the White House.
I love stealing money.
I like the idea.
To buy more bacon.
Well, I love the bacon in the world.
And we'll put it on the moon.
The moon, and say that, and put a cross there, not because I believe in Jesus, that he died for our sins, and that he's not yet to come. He already came a while ago.
I developed a new evil device to prove that Jesus was the Son of God. Something I've always believed.
Evil Christian Gru.
Not he's evil, not Jewish.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's working with the Vatican in the next one. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you guys hear about what's happening to the Palestinians? Horrible.
Free Palestine.
He's like, I'm evil, but oh jeez.
Those guys.
Well, no, that's why he's evil. I'm putting that out there. That's why he's evil.
He's Palestinian.
no,
No,
because
because he's evilly wants to free Palestine.
yeah.
We're going to steal the Wailing Wall.
We are going to take the West Bank and put it on the moon.
We their funny little nether cube that they have at Mecca. Which I think is okay. I think it's better than the alternative, which is Judaism.
I sneak into Jewish communities and turn the true children of God into my minions.
I give them jaundice and then take away their ability to make coherent speech.
I take away their intellect so they can't expose me for my heresy.
This is there's just like 80 plots in this movie, all revolving around proving how not Jewish he is.
Jewish people are watching it, they're like, is this like for us or against us?
He's evil, I think, but he's also the protagonist.
So him not being Jewish is evil, but he's also doing a lot of bad stuff.
At the very end of the movie, it succeeds, but it's like only because an even worse, eviler Jewish man was trying to do other things, and his plan succeeds, and they're like, you know what, that was good. You did good things in the end.
Vector.
I like
I'm Jewish. My religion has magnitude and direction.
His dad runs the bank, the evil bank, doesn't he?
Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's true.
That's even worse.
What if the movie starts out and Gru's just like, I understand the Holocaust was bad, but it's been 75 years.
Maybe it's time for Holocaust 2. Despicable Me 3. Despicable Me 3, Holocaust 2.
Truly despicable. SS Minion Guards.
That was the whole
The
reason why
minion
in the
with the
Minions,
striped pajamas.
in the Minions lore, they were frozen in ice, so they couldn't. Be, They couldn't be Hitler's.
Yeah, they weren't available to help out Hitler.
Minions.
They always helped out the evilest person.
The most despicable person.
But yeah.
Let me finish counting my minions. 6 million. You guys must be about 120 years old now. I can't believe no one found me.
Despicable Me 3 starts with a flashback of gas chambers.
But instead of them dying, they're getting
They turn into minions. Gru is spreading Holocaust denial so people won't catch on to how the minions are truly created.
He's having the minions go out and pretend to be Jewish people to keep up the disguise.
They were like, maybe this commentary is a little too biting for today. Maybe we need to get to Despicable Me 4, Gru steals Mecca before we do that.
He's just trying to fund his Back to Poland movement.
Yeah. The minions are called the Gruden.
They're actually just speaking Polish.
The Polish audiences did not understand that movie. They were like, okay.
Why are they saying?
Banana. Minion in the striped pajamas.
How we looking?
I don't know. We've got probably
we got a bit more to go.
Yeah, just a tad. That's so
we're
beautiful.
required to fill the time.
It brings
People expect an hour and a half podcast.
Alright, well, if you like that bit, guys, email us at brownbrickspodcast@gmail.com with your ideas for Despicable Me 3.
Yeah, or 4, I guess now. 3 already happened. Yeah, 3 already happened. That was the one where he was so anti-Jewish. They had to explain it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
4th is when it reveals that.
Yeah, 4 is what it
They're in
revealed.
fact
The-
old, very old
master
people.
plan.
I like the idea that like news outlets don't pick up on that. They're like whatever, but then like YouTube channels that are like the real reason the minions are the way they are. And they have like the minion that's like looking seductively at the camera with its butt, and it's like a 10-minute video that just stretches it out. And they're like, the Holocaust happened, and it was believed 6 million Jews died. But Despicable Me showing us that was not the case.
Matt Pat's
documentary.
Matt Pat is like, guys, I know I'm normally a hack who just makes shit up for views, but like, this is fucked up. Like,
Yeah. It's not subtext. It's quite literally in the text of the script.
like, I just feel
You
like I
said-
gotta talk about this.
Gru says he does it.
Despicable Me for the quest to make the name Auschwitz something different.
Gruland.
It wasn't bad. It was fun, right? The minions are like, yeah.
Why? Why me? I made you immortal.
You are now my immortal minions forever.
Where, Baba Booey?
You can't die.
You cannot die, and you are also.
But you also cannot reproduce.
no recollection of your former lives or what religion you may or may not have been. Some of you were not Jewish.
I do like if this was just, so they put out the trailer and the trailer was just like an explanation of this, but then it like did one of those like incoherent cuts to like a minion going like what? And then it was like Despicable Me 4.
Just 5 minutes of Gru going on this really convoluted thing about how it all ties in to Holocaust denial and all this shit. Then the minion going, ooh, banana.
And then it's like
Kids will love it.
Yeah.
Comic relief.
And he's like, you're not listening, are you?
And then it's like, see Despicable Me 4, only in theaters
None of
this
you-
day. And then it's like the minions are like dancing on like the June 24th with like the Among Us like butt dance. And it's just like, see Despicable Me 4, like right after
They're
that.
dancing on graves at a Holocaust memorial.
They're pointing at names, being like,
That's me.
I think I'm dead.
We're gonna dig up the graves of all these Holocaust.
The mass graves are just filled with nothing.
Yeah.
Like, we dug up graves at the Holocaust memorials.
And
but
there's just
a
bananas.
lot of them were just the remains of honorable German soldiers.
I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me.
Such a cool direction for the franchise.
I know. Do you think that'd get a PG? Or do you think that'd be...
Despicable Me 4, rated R. That's why it's called Illumination. They're illuminating us to what the truth is.
They're like, you can't make the Mario movie anymore. We're taking that one away from you. They're like, we had plans for Mario.
Mario was gonna tie into it.
Minions are gonna be in Mario.
Oh,
No,
we got some things to say about Italians.
No, this is because Shigeru Miyamoto got on the board of Illumination because they were making the whole Mario movie. But what if he got on the board and he's like, listen, Mario movie, yeah, you guys do whatever, but I've got an idea for Despicable Me. I'm gonna break into the... Oh, did you hear that Kojima's gonna make a movie now?
Yeah, he got a whole studio, yeah. He's
Yeah.
got a new Kojima Productions movie studio, which is what he should have done in the first place.
That's gonna be
Yeah.
the best, worst movie of all time.
I think I'm gonna not like it.
I would way more like to see him do like a serialized show than a movie.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Something with a longer narrative.
Something that lets you like expand
Yeah.
upon your shit, a little more easily. Not have to have it like so cohesive and tight.
Yeah,
And,
because then he's just gonna do dialogue for a fucking 2.5 hour movie.
You know how people are like...
talking to each other.
Yeah,
about
like mad at...
concepts.
Like people are like, man, it was really dumb in that movie when people like turned to the like camera and then said exactly what they were thinking and like told you exact exposition. It's like, no, that's actually gonna happen in this movie.
Yeah,
like I don't know if you guys know
100%.
this. Like I don't know if he knows.
Very on the nose names.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be. What do you think it's gonna be called?
I mean, it might not. I don't know. It might tie into Death Stranding. I'm not sure if he'll actually do that. But
That seems like really convoluted for like a Hollywood flick, just to be like, and it
He's
ties into
Kojima.
this
But it's
one
also
game.
Kojima, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
What did he make? What did Kojima make?
Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear Solid games.
And Policenauts.
Death Stranding and Policenauts, I guess.
Yeah.
People like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
I played it on an emulator. Translated.
Yeah, I don't know what else. I feel like he's done another thing, but
Doki Doki Literature Club.
no, not him. That's
I went to Black Friday GameStop and they were selling Doki Doki Literature Club Plus
yeah.
for the PS4 and Wii, and I was like, Wii. Yeah, they're selling it for the Wii. I guess point and click would be good for visual novels, right?
would be the worst.
It gives it like mild interactivity over like the none at all that exists.
You say good for visual novels. If you have any input, you can have it be work for visual
Yeah,
novels.
if you have the weird pendulum controller for the Switch, you can have a visual novel.
Yeah.
The Switch U, yeah.
Did you not know about Doki Doki Literature Club Plus?
No. I played the game once with a couple of friends who...
Okay.
But it was the best, because I played the game and I tricked them, because I was like, oh, there's this stupid free visual novel game that's like really stupid and fun. But most people at that point, or like they knew what it was if they were terminally online like me. But I went in being like, I know these guys like don't keep up with that at all, and I know they think weeb shit is weird. So I was like, yes, I can get these guys. And we just played through the whole thing in one day, and it was a blast.
Nice. Yeah, I played it blind when it first came out. It was cool.
I did not. I knew someone hung themselves.
Yeah. Sayaka.
Whoa.
Sayaka.
No, I got onto it pretty early. I don't remember how, but I was like,
You were watching Game Grumps.
no, I don't think I saw anybody.
I remember
Hey,
watching
I'm-
you streamed it for a bit.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know why. I think I maybe just saw it come out on Steam or something and downloaded it.
I know it has some special dialogue if it detects that you're running like streaming software.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
says I'm not going to say your real name.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it saves you from getting doxxed, which is good.
yeah, which is good. Like, I'm glad that they put that in there.
Yeah.
They were probably, once it got popular, they're like, oh, we should probably do something about
Dan
this.
Salvatore's cool.
Yeah, he was like a big melee guy.
He makes good stuff.
He's
All
making
right.
anything. Yeah, well, I think we're probably good.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Email us at
We got our
brownbrickspodcast@gmail.com. We got our goofs. We got our gaffs. Bye. 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 Bye.